Picture this. It's the 1840s, a time of steam trains, gas lamps, and a world that's about to get a whole lot smaller. Why? Because of an incredible invention called the electric telegraph. For the first time in human history, messages could travel faster than a horse. Crossing vast distances in the blink of an eye, cities hundreds of miles apart were suddenly connected. It was like magic, a true marvel of the modern age. At the heart of this revolution were the telegraph operators. These were the pioneers, the tech wizards of their day. They sat in small offices, their ears trained to the rhythmic clicks and clacks of the telegraph key, translating dots and dashes into words, connecting families, businesses, and nations. They were at the cutting edge of a technology that was changing the world forever. It was an exciting, prestigious job. But these operators were about to discover a shocking and frankly terrifying secret hidden within the wires. Imagine you're an operator on a quiet afternoon. You're tapping out a message, maybe a business transaction, or news from a distant city. Suddenly, a storm begins to gather outside. The sky darkens, thunder rumbles in the distance. You don't think much of it at first, but then something strange happens. As a flash of lightning illuminates the room, you feel a sharp, painful jolt run up your arm from the telegraph key. It's a powerful electric shock, completely unexpected and deeply unnerving. Your muscles seize, and you pull your hand back in alarm, your heart pounding. It just happened. It's a machine you work with every day. This symbol of progress has just attacked you. This wasn't an isolated incident. Across the country, as telegraph lines spread like a giant metal web, operators started sharing similar frightening stories. During thunderstorms, their equipment would go haywire. Some reported seeing bright, fiery sparks leap from the telegraph instruments. Others described a loud crack like a pistol shot, echoing through the office as a ball of fire erupted from the device. And then there were the shocks. These weren't just a mild static buzz. They were powerful enough to knock a grown man off his chair, leaving him stunned and trembling. One operator, a man named Franklin Pope, who would later become a famous electrical engineer, recalled an incident where a lightning strike on the line produced a flash so brilliant it temporarily blinded him and left him with a severe headache for hours. The newspapers of the day started picking up on these strange occurrences. They ran headlines that sounded like something out of a gothic horror novel. It's telegraphic terrors and shocking news from the wires. The public was fascinated and a little spooked. This magical technology seemed to have a dark side, a wild and untamed spirit that was lashing out at its masters. For the operators, it was a very real and present danger. Every time a storm rolled in, they faced a difficult choice: abandon their posts and delay important messages, or risk a painful and potentially fatal encounter with the raw power of nature. So, what was going on? Why was this happening? Well, nobody really knew for sure at first. Remember, this was the very beginning of the electrical age. Scientists were still grappling with the fundamental principles of electricity. The idea that a telegraph wire, stretching for miles across the open countryside, could act as a giant antenna for lightning was a completely new concept. The long, exposed metal wires were the perfect conductors for the immense electrical charge of a lightning strike. When lightning hit a line, or even struck near it, a massive surge of electricity would travel down the wire at incredible speed, straight into the telegraph office. The telegraph equipment, designed for low-voltage signals, was no match for this celestial onslaught. It would overload instantly, and the operator, their hand on the metal key, would become the path of least resistance for all that energy to find its way to the ground. This led to a frantic search for a solution. The telegraph companies were losing money from damaged equipment and delayed messages, and more importantly, they were struggling to keep their operators safe and on the job. The inventors and engineers of the era, including the great Samuel Morse himself, put their minds to the problem. The challenge was to find a way to protect the delicate telegraph instruments and the human operators from these massive electrical surges without interrupting the normal flow of telegraph signals. Early attempts at protection were often crude but ingenious. One of the first ideas was a simple ground wire. Operators were instructed to connect a wire from the telegraph line to a metal stake driven deep into the earth whenever a storm approached. The theory was that the lightning charge would prefer to travel down this direct path to the ground rather than through the telegraph machine. It was a decent idea in principle, but it had a major flaw. The operator had to manually connect it, and if they were to slow, it was already too late. Plus, it meant stopping all communication during a storm, which defeated the purpose of the telegraph's speed. Then came a cleverer device, known as the lightning arrestor or lightning protector. The first versions were elegantly simple. They were based on a key discovery. High-voltage lightning could jump across a small air gap, while the low-voltage telegraph signal could not. So, they installed a device with two metal plates placed very close together, but not touching. One plate was connected to the telegraph line, and the other was connected to the ground. Under normal conditions, the telegraph signal would flow right past this gap, continuing on its way. But when a high-voltage lightning surge came down the line, it was powerful enough to leap across the air gap between the plates and discharge safely into the ground, bypassing the operator and their equipment. These early lightning arresters, developed by pioneers like Charles Grafton Page, were a game changer. They were the first line of defense, automatically protecting the system without human intervention. Over time, these designs were refined and improved, becoming more reliable and robust. Engineers experimented with different materials, gap sizes, and even incorporated fuses that would blow during a surge to provide an extra layer of protection. This quest for safety wasn't just about protecting machines. It was about taming electricity itself, making it a reliable servant rather than a dangerous, unpredictable force. The story of the first telegraph shocks is more than just a historical curiosity. It's a fundamental chapter in our relationship with technology. It highlights that period of trial and error that comes with any groundbreaking invention. The pioneers of the telegraph didn't have a textbook to follow. They were writing it as they went along, learning from dangerous real-world experiences. Their struggles led directly to the development of surge protection, a technology we now take for granted. Every time you plug in your computer or television into a surge protector, you're reusing a direct descendant of the solutions created to stop those 19th century telegraph operators from getting shocked. This episode also reminds us of the bravery of those early operators. They were true explorers, venturing into a new technological frontier. They faced unknown dangers with courage and ingenuity, and their experiences helped build the foundations of our modern electrical world. They were the first to truly live and work online, and they paid the price for it in sparks and shocks. Their story is a powerful testament to the human drive to innovate, to connect, and to overcome the challenges that arise when we dare to harness the fundamental forces of nature. So next time you see a distant flash of lightning, maybe give a little thought to those telegraph pioneers who first learned the hard way about the shocking power that travels down the wire. Thanks so much for watching. If you found this story as fascinating as I did, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more dives into the hidden history of technology. See you in the next one.